Good day, crafty chums. It's Nicky here, and welcome to my channel. Um, so, almost all of you know, I live in New Zealand, and today is the 1st of December. So I thought it's about time now to get the old December daily out and just start on it. Actually, although it's still morning, just about, and I thought I could actually start doing this now. Let me just turn this paper over because it's showing a little bit dark on my screen. It's an overcast day here today. It's 1st of December, so the first day of summer. Yay. First day of summer here. Yay. And but it's an overcast day. So let me just set these things out. Like this one on this side, this one on this side, this one on this side. Just make sure my wire's not going over there, so that's all good. And so yeah, I finished putting in my pages last night. I did the coffee dyed pages, and I've just got the pages in at the moment on elastic. So I've got 3 signatures and so 3 bits of elastic, and I'm just folded my pages in at the moment. They're just folded in over the elastic so that I can add more pages if I want to. So long as I don't if I keep this free, or if I keep the bottom free, then I can add pages if I want to, or I can add pages to these little flaps or whatever. So I'm not yet quite sure how it's going to go. Just tidy up a little bit before I get into it, and I just made the binding simple like that. This is going to be like a little diary for me, and to aid me in this as well, I treated myself during the Black Friday sales to a sprocket. And the sprocket is just a little printer for your phone and that, and it prints off some cute little pictures and things. So I'll just show you one in a second. And I thought I'd just take a photograph a day of it, anything, you know. If I put up my Christmas tree, then I'm going to take a little photograph of it. And the printer that I decided to use was the 2x3. They do a little bit bigger one, I think, which is a 3x4. But I went ahead with the 2x3. So this is the little printer. It's called a sprocket. And of course it comes out of there. So that's what I went for. I thought it would just add a little bit of fun to my December daily, and also it's a neat way when you travel and that to keep a daily record of things you do when you travel also, which we're going to be traveling again in next year in winter. Well, winter here, summer in the northern hemisphere, winter in the southern hemisphere. And so we're going to be traveling then. And I thought, oh well, I might as well get one and see what it's like. So these are this size. This is my hubby with the cat. This is my hubby with our cat. I took this photograph a little while ago and just printed it off. I thought I'd just show you, you know, he won't mind showing you a picture. And then this is a close-up of my poor little cat with his he's had this eye taken out, and he's had that eye operated on, so he's got that scar tissue there over his left eye, and he's got a tiny weeny bit of vision out at the bottom, but for all intents and purposes he's a blind cat. And you know that he's blind because he can't jump up onto anything, because he can't obviously sense distances or anything above. So he can do a little jump on, like onto the sofa or onto the bed, but anything higher than that, really, it's just not possible for him to do it, because he can't judge it. Because so for all intents and purposes, he's blind from his nose above. Anything that goes above his nose, he can't see. So there's that, and there's my gorgeous little granddaughter there with the cat as well. So yeah, so this is going to be my December daily. I've never done one before, so I made this with Anne-Marie the other week, the cover, and decorated it, and then as I say, I made some coffee dyed papers, which was another one which I used stencils through the coffee dyeing, and my stencils are dirty always, and because it adds more color and texture to whatever you're doing if your stencils are dirty, or you're just too lazy to clean them, one or the other. And as you can see with the inks and that I've used through my stencils, it's also added extra color onto the coffee dyed paper, which was awesome. So yeah, lots of different things that I've got going on my papers, and talking because because this is the first time I've done it. You know, I'm not quite sure where to start. So obviously I'm going to do, my cat's howling, so I've got to go and let him out actually. So of course I'm going to do a title page, and then I will do the first day of December, because it's December the 1st here right now. December the 1st, first day of summer. Just let my cat out. Sorry about that. So let's see, a title page. I've got a few bits and pieces on the desk that's not necessarily all Christmas, but I may put this one on actually, because it's from a tea bag packet, and it's for chai tea, and it's got this cute little, I thought I'd save this, you know, it's like a colouring, says beautiful blend. They reckon that is the most, you know, flavoursome madam flavour. So I thought I'd cut that out, put that on here as well. Haven't decided whether I'm not going to use a pocket on the first page because I've got nothing to slip in there yet. So I thought I'd put up that on there, but I'd do my title page first. And I'm undecided. Obviously, it will just be the date and that, won't it? So yeah, a little bit undecided because I've never done it before. So it's yeah. So it's Sunday, 1st of December, believe it or not. So December daily is what we're going to do. I might do it this way actually. I'll put my title page this way. Why not? So we're just going to just sketch it out first. So this will be interesting. Keeping a Christmas diary. Of course, we've got all the Santa. We've got all the Santa parades and everything that will be going on in December, and we have one. We have a big Santa parade on December the 8th in the nearest huge town, and which I probably won't get to, but we do have one here in my little, I don't know whether you'd call it a village really, but anyway, in my I think they're calling it a town, but it's a tiny town. And so we have that here on December the 7th. So obviously I'll take a couple of photos there and make something of it when it happens. It's a little Santa parade, and the local schools have the kids singing, and they do like a little talent show, and it's all a lot of fun. And then they have a Santa lolly scramble where Santa comes along and throws a load of sweets at the kids, and this big sort of like fight for the sweets ensues as they walk along the lake frontier. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I think it's amusing. But anywho, I think this coffee dyed paper actually is beautiful to smells delicious, and it's very nice to sketch on as well. I've never used it before, so we'll see how well it'll hold pens and things, and probably go straight through. And I might have to put different paper on the back, because once I start using my pens and that, I don't know what will happen. So see, I've never used it before, so it'll be interesting. So what was I saying? Oh yes, so there's a few things happening in December. My daughter is coming over on December the 21st to pick up her middle daughter to go back to Australia with her for Christmas, which will be nice. So I'll get to see them for a little while, well, a day, maybe half a day. So that will be nice. And then my hubby is supposed to be coming home on Christmas Day, and I haven't seen him for months, so that will be good too. So I got a few things happening, and then of course, obviously, work. Work is the biggest thing that happens to me. Takes up all my time, as it does for most people who work. So I say it'll be nice to see my daughter and my middle granddaughter. And joy of getting into diary keeping for the month as well. I used to keep a diary when we were sailing, because I used to forget where we were going, so I used a diary to do that. So I think I've always kept a travel diary. If I go anywhere, I like to document what I do then. But otherwise, it's because it's just work, and that doesn't seem point keeping a diary otherwise, because gets a little bit boring. So I was doing a vlog, and then my phone decided to not talk to my computer anymore, and said something's up, because I was blogging with my phone, and then everything just decided not to work anymore. So until I get myself some other form of taking videos on the road, I won't be doing that again for a while. So I'm looking into a different it's easy to use your telephone to record, because it does it so well. But I'm now looking for maybe a video camera to do that instead of using my phone, seeing as it's because I'm not going to replace my phone, because it's only a year old, and I'm not going to replace my laptop, even though that is 8 years old, because it's really expensive to replace them. So unless there's a fault in them, then why replace it? No reason at all. So yeah, so maybe I'll wait till the January sales to get a new camera, video camera. because although it's easier to use your phone when they're not working, it's not easy, is it? Obviously. So this will be an interesting project to do, as I say, and I'm actually looking forward to it in a strange kind of way. Because I don't do much handwriting anymore, do we? Because everything's all on the computer now. So this will be a good way of practicing your handwriting as well. It's quite funny because some people never get to write anymore at all, because it's all done on your hand, handwrite, because it's all done on Messenger and talking face to face, and lots of people hardly write. Son was saying that he couldn't remember a few I think it was last year or something, he's saying he couldn't remember the last time he'd handwritten anything. So it's a shocker really when you think about it, isn't it? Hi. Hi, Nicky. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. It is Nicky, isn't it? Nicky. So yeah, he was telling me that he hadn't written anything in years. He said because it's just not necessary anymore to handwrite anything. So it's when you think about it, it's like, wow, yeah, handwriting is going to become a lost art soon, and that's like, wow, shock. Hi, Debbie. So when you think about it, it is quite a shock that handwritten anything will become a lost art unless us crafters keep it going. I think, anyway. I don't know how you ladies feel about it. Handwriting is a dying art. Yes, it is, Nicky. Good, thanks. Hi, Lucia. I can't remember. Can't remember how to say it now. So yeah, so this is the first day of summer. I was going to say, I feel sorry for the people who dress up as Santa over here, because they put them in the fluffy red suits and everything, and they wear their beards, and they look like they're really uncomfortable. The poor guys who do it, really, really uncomfortable. Because as you can imagine, Christmas around here, reaching temperatures over 30 most days, and they're in their like fleecy gear with the beards, and most of them don't do the padding, and you can understand why. but our Santas here will have the fleecy jackets, the beards and the hoods and everything else, and then they'll have fleecy shorts, and they'll be wearing their gum boots, their Wellington boots. It's very funny. I feel so sorry for them. To follow, a northern hemisphere tradition in the southern hemisphere is just like crazy. but it's because of that that picture that everybody has, you know, of White Christmas and everything else. And of course, it's Sunday here, and it seems crazy to go on and follow along with that tradition. I haven't seen any reindeer or anything, but they usually go along on their tractors, and Santa on a tractor is the sight to see. I must get as I say, I must take photographs for you so you can see what a crazy thing a Southern Hemisphere Christmas is. And so yeah, that's why I bought the sprocket as well, so that I can take photographs, and hopefully I can get going to a few of the Santa parades and that happen here, and you'll be able to see how crazy it truly is. I did last year. I took Michelle and Amory for a tour of they stayed up late for me, and we did the Santa parade here that we have here on the lakefront, and I think they enjoyed it, but they had to stay up at a crazy time while I just took them on a tour to show them what it was like. Yeah, I made my cover a couple of weeks ago, and I copy dyed some papers and that, and they were just in loose, just so that I can either subtract or add more as I go along, and because I don't know whether I'll be using 1 page or 2 page, because I'm going to have it like a diary with pictures in it as well, and and my first year of doing one, so I'm looking forward to it. And so far, my paint pen hasn't come through, which is good. Oh, hi, Eileen. Fancy you being there. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're not working today. Saturday for you, isn't it? Yeah. So as I said, saying I did I took them along for the ride last year, and it was quite funny. Oh yeah, running around. Busy for you. You have lots of peeps at home. Whereas at the moment I'm still by myself. As I say, hubby's due home Christmas Day. My daughter will be here on the 21st for a day, as she picks up her middle daughter to take back to Australia for Christmas. Yeah, I scheduled my live stream, and then my computer, when I turned it on, decided to it was already running through an update to the program, so that was nice. So I had to wait till it finished before I could get on. It's often does that to me. Yeah, technology. Yeah. so this was the little printer I bought, which was the sprocket, which prints out 2x3 photographs. So that's what I'm using this year. I am treating myself in the old Black Friday thing. There's one of hubby that I took a while ago, but I just printed it out so you could see what it looks like. And also up close of my poor little pussycat with his eye and his missing eye. So yeah, because people say, oh, you know, can't see him. Well, that's what he looks like up close and personal. And as I was saying, he's got a little bit of sight, and so he's got a little bit of sight below his nose. He can see below his nose, but above his nose, can't see at all. So in all intents and purposes, he's a blind cat. So yeah, I'm going to be out and about, hopefully, you know, when the Santa parades are on, and take a photograph or two, and then put them in mid-December daily so you can see what a Southern Hemisphere Christmas is like without the snow and with the heat and the poor Santas and yeah, the poor old Santas and that, you know, you've got to feel sorry for them. Well, I do anyway. Coming from a Northern Hemisphere to a Southern Hemisphere, you've got to wonder why they do it like they do it. You like it? I was going to get one of those little cameras that actually take the small prints. I've forgotten what they're called now. Someone will tell me. But then I thought, no, I've got so many photographs on my phone already. I might as well just get the printer for it and then print off, you know, from a phone and that. Because we have all these photographs on our phone, and how many of us actually print them off and use them in anything? I know I sure don't. Well, occasionally I do. Occasionally, you know, I'll print off a set of something to send out to the rallies, but hardly ever. So, you know, something that hardly ever do. And it's such a shame because when you upgrade your phone, or if you have it on a hard drive and then, you know, that goes smoosh or kaput, then you've lost all those photos as well. And I think it's another great shame that we lose things like that when you look back on photographs from when you were kids and that, and then you realize at some point that that our children are going to miss that because we hardly ever print out photographs. We hardly ever print out photographs, you know, so our children's, you know, won't have those photographs to see anymore, you know, the memories and that. Such a shame when you think of all the things we lose through technology. I can't tell you over the years how many photographs I've lost from hard drives that you can, you know, you used to put them on little sticks and that off your phone, off your computer onto a little stick, and then the little sticks would become corrupted, and so then you buy the bigger memory drives, and then they become incompatible with your computer, and it's like, oh. Some technology is great, and then it's also a pain, isn't it? I think so. I think it's a bit of a pain. The older I get, the more I think it's a pain. Because then you remember what it was like without technology and things that you don't get anymore, which is a shame. Am I alone here in thinking that? Am I alone in thinking that, you know, we're losing so much? I look back at my baby photos and, you know, not just my baby photos, I mean my children's baby photos. And how many photographs I don't have of my grandchildren. So I'm bringing back my so I'm bringing back my photo albums, you know. So I've decided I'm going to start doing it again. So you don't want to see that. There's some things you shouldn't see in a photo album, but you know, some things you should and some things you shouldn't. But I've just got together all the old photos that I have hanging around, and I thought I'd start making them albums. So I've just popped them into the albums now, and just me looking like a baby myself. See, look at that. It's a photograph of my hubby, and that's what he looks like now. Look, we were babies. Babies having babies, look. So funny. So I've just gathered together all the photos that I've got just lying around in different places and that, and this one's my son's album, and I'm going to eventually, you know, do it all up, make it all nice for him to see again. And so this is him growing up. And make it all nice so that he's got something then he can show his children. This is like it, you know, him growing up at school. This is Victorian day at school, very funny. And so yeah, and I've got to find a couple of more. I've got of him as a teenager, and then I'll pop it in, and you know, and then he's got something then as a he can keep to show his children. Hopefully, if he ever has children. Hi, Deborah. So yeah, I think as you get older and you start looking back, then you get it's very strange. You know, I'm not saying that you reminisce, but you definitely realise that passing of time, and that's hit me just a lot lately. That, you know, I am getting older, and it's what is my legacy going to be? You know, what am I going to leave to my darling children? And you know, memories. I think I'm going to leave them a load of memories that hopefully they can look back on with fondness. Certainly not going to be a monetary legacy, but hey, memories and happy times. Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, so I'm sorting through, and that's come about because I've been sorting through my of course, as you know, I've now got my own craft room, and I can have all my memorabilia out, and so yeah, and it struck me, you know, what we lose through technology, what, you know, in this progressive world we live in, you know, where things go at such a pace, and getting older makes me worry that all the things we no longer going to have. I don't know. Am I being silly? It suddenly hit me the other day, and it's like, oh. And this year has gone so super fast as well. It's I can't believe it's December already. It's wow, you know, the start of 2018. I was thinking, and it's almost the end of 2019 now. It's like, wow, where where did those years go? Or when I look back and see when we started International Crafters together with Eileen, Josie, Anne Marie, and myself, you know, where did those years go? Where did it all go? I don't know. It's like, wow. So hubby and I are going sailing again, as I say, in, I don't know, May or June, something like that. We're off on our travels again, which will be nice. And then I've got to come back and work again, which will be not so nice. But I'm taking a few months out next year, and we're going to continue traveling for a few months, and then come back. Of course, because we bought the house now, we've got to pay for the house before we can actually just go back and be on the boat and travel lots. You know, let's secure our future in the house, and then we can go traveling for a little while and then come back, which will be just super nice. I'm hoping it'll be super nice anyway. But pay for the house first, then travel second. But not before we're too old. We won't leave it too long. We did those good 5 years of traveling or whatever it was, and but it will be good to travel again. But come back first, pay for the house, and then travel again. Sometimes I think, you know, it's I can't believe how old I am. Can't believe how fast my life now is zooming along. Really should do the things that we've always dreamed of doing before we just can't, you know, before we're too old to do them. I'm going to have a huge 60th birthday party. You're all invited. Come stay at my place. You've got a couple of years to save up for your airfare, and then you can all come and crash at mine. There you go. How do you feel about that? Hi, Jude. Spring chicken, yeah. Yeah, Jude could come and crash at mine easily. I've decided I'm going to have a big 60th. I always invite everyone to mine. No one ever comes. I'd be shocked if anyone ever took me up on that, wouldn't I? let's see, 2.5 years for me, 60 in 2.5 years' time. Oh, there you go, I said it out loud. Can't believe it. Honestly, I really can't believe it. I think it's because this year has just gone so fast. Yeah. I was shocked this year. I mean, where's it gone? Not that it's over yet, but you know, I'll blink and then it will be 2020. That's how I feel. It's just like zooming away from me. That's why we're going to go sailing again, you know, is that I don't want time to run out on us. So we're taking we'll be going over to Amsterdam. We're going to sail over to Amsterdam because one of my sister-in-laws lives there. And and then we're going to take the boat back to Jersey in the Channel Islands and park her there for a while and come back to New Zealand, work a little bit more. So you can't tell anyone off till then. Yeah, so we'll park in sorry, frog in my throat. So we're going to park in Jersey, the Channel Islands. It's a beautiful place, great place to leave the boat as well. And we were there for about, I think about 2 years, a couple of years ago. And because of course we're not sure whether we'll be able to leave the boat in the UK after Brexit. So we're going to move the boat before that happens. Oh wow, cool. They do. Well, I mean, Maori and you know, colonial history would have been. They would have been had seen lots of Victorians around in their time, so not too funny. I was just saying, Jude, how weird it is for me personally to come from the northern hemisphere to New Zealand and see a southern hemisphere Christmas and the poor old Santas and the poor old Santas in their felted, you know, Santa gear with their beards, their hats, their coats, their shorts, and their gumboots. Just like I feel sorry for them, to be honest with you. You know, so hot. It's so hot for them. I'm sure it would have been really hot, but I love steampunk. Too hot for Christmas, yep. It's quite a shocker, you know, seeing that. It's crazy people. That's what I thought anyway. First time I saw it, crazy. No one from the northern hemisphere can really appreciate it until they come to the southern hemisphere. Crazy people. Yeah, it's to tell you the truth, it doesn't feel like Christmas for me anymore because it's so hot. It's so hot and there's no snow. Yeah, to me, Christmas isn't Christmas unless it's snowing. So it's a bit of a shocker, I tell you, every year. So this year I'm going to try and get into the Christmas spirit by doing a December daily as well. It's yeah, our first Christmas here I did the full works, the roast turkey and the roast. I did the full roast dinner and everything else, and then the second year I thought, nah, so, it's too hot. uh, it was too. Yeah, I went all out the first year, and then after that it was like, nah. No way. Oh no, really? Yeah, I heard she was coming to Christchurch. I think she said she was flying in or something, was she? I went up last weekend to Queenstown and I drove because I had all my son's stuff from inside the garage that we'd had stored here. So I took it back to him in Queenstown. I drove it all down in my little sewing machine of a car. Oh wow, you did the roast dinner for Gary. I tell you, if it's not cooler, it'll be windier. Probably won't be. We probably get the same amount of wind here in where we are in Christchurch on the coast here as they do in Wellington. Yesterday was awful. Huge winds yesterday because it's so flat, and of course, the wind just it just tears into us down here. Windy Welly, yeah. You haven't been on a plane, or she hasn't been on a plane in years. Yeah, I had a 7-hour drive. It's actually only a 6-hour drive, but it ended up being 7 hours for me because I had all his gear in the back of the car, and because it was so heavy. My car is like, as I say, like a little sewing machine. Um, it was slow going over the mountains. Di hasn't. Yeah, we were super windy yesterday. I think it was 19 degrees here yesterday, and the winds were like crazy. But we had 32 the day before. And everybody melted. When my dad came to see me when I graduated, it was the first time he'd flown ever. And so, his first flight was to New Zealand from the UK, which was just amazing. Should be all right. I have no idea what kind of flowers, leaves these are. I'm just drawing green leaves. Was she? She must have come to New Zealand on the boat then. Yeah, it would only be a small one because she's only going from Invercargill to Christchurch. It's like, okay. Now my daughter's stopping for one day. She's flying in from Australia. She's stopping one day, and then she's to pick up her middle daughter, and then she's flying straight back to Australia for Christmas. The granddaughter's going over for Christmas, spend it with her mum. She's only 5, so she has to be accompanied at the moment. Di will be up in the air and then she'll be landed before she knows it, because that must be a really short flight from Invercargill. They'll get up, gain altitude, and then they'll be coming back down again. Yeah, well, they all live in. Well, 2 of them live in Australia. One lives in New Zealand with her. She lives in New Zealand with her dad, but I don't get to see her very often. And of course, the ones in Australia, well, I see them on Messenger. Usually get a daily call from them to see them. Yeah, under 1 hour. See, that's hardly even a flight at all. 1 hour. Well, now it's not really even time to get comfy in your chair. Yeah, let's hope it's a calm day for her when she flies. Have they? They got snow? Wow. Oh yeah. Mm. It's nice. That'd be great. Visits to Chicago, eh? Oh, is there heavy American or something, or are they just liking Chicago? Oh right. Wow. Sounds fascinating. And what kind of perks they get on a job like that? Oh yeah, nice. Yeah. Coming from New Zealand, everywhere has got lots of people. I said one of my greatest memories of first arriving in New Zealand, and when we arrived, we we were up north in Whangarei, and one of my greatest memories is being able to drive all day on some of the roads in the back countries, the back lanes, and not seeing one single person. Not one single person, not one single car, nothing. It was astonishing coming from the UK. You know, we're all crammed in together, and just being able to drive and not see another person for the day. It's like wow. The actual lack of people was one of the craziest things, and driving into Auckland and everybody moaning about the traffic jams and that, you know, and to me it was nothing. Yeah, no, there is, yeah, it's all relative, I think, but you know, there was no people were moaning about it, and I couldn't understand why they were moaning about it. Because to me that wasn't traffic, you know, traffic problem, that wasn't traffic jams. It's like oh thanks Jude. Yeah, my hubby was saying that he's just flown out from the UK, and he's just gone to the Philippines, and he was saying that he decided to head off earlier to the airport just in case from where he was driving in from, and he managed to get there. It's normally it's a 3 hour drive, and it took him 6 hours. But he was saying that he managed to get to the airport before the M25 closed down and became gridlocked because of an accident on there. So, and if he hadn't decided to set off early just in case, he would have missed his flight because he wouldn't have made it. Hi, Anne-Marie. So, yeah, you know, New Zealand's traffic problems are just, I mean, they're relative to New Zealand, but in the whole context of everybody else's traffic problems, it's nothing. And it's actually one of the things I'm grateful for. Yeah, I'm very grateful. I don't know if we've crept over the 5 million 5 million people living here or not yet, but I think we're on our way, aren't we? Yep, I'm very. I actually wake up every day glad and thankful that I live here. That I'm able to live here. Thanks, Jude. I love being here. I've still got the travel, you know, the travel bug still with me. Me and hubby intend to travel on our boat until we can no longer do that, and then we'll probably just get a camper van here and just do travel New Zealand then when we get too old to be able to sail. Too old or too infirm to be able to sail. I don't think the travel bug will ever leave us. But there's so much to see in New Zealand anyway. You can see, apart from the Grand Canyon, you can see everything that, and maybe the pyramids. You can see everything that the world has to offer in New Zealand, apart from those couple of things, and it's all on your back doorstep. Because you've got the mountains, you've got the sea, you've got the fjords, you've got forests, you've got Hajo, you've got the forests, you've got deserts, you've got shattered moon landscapes in some parts of the country. You just got everything here, everything you could ever want, all in easy access. And with not many people around. All right, you drags them in for me as well. I appreciate that. Yeah, people get, and you can drive. You can actually drive along, and you can see the landscape change from desert to jungle, just right in front of you. It's just like, it's astonishing. And you've got sand dunes, big, huge, big sand dunes that you get in any desert, and you know, just I mean, it's just the landscape here is astonishing, right from the north right down to the south. It's crazy, the the variation that you get in this country. We don't quite have the Grand Canyon, the grandeur of that, but we've got the fjords, we've got the jungle, we've got the deserts, we've got the sand, we've got the sea. There's just everything you can think of here. And you're not allowed to come, all right? It's all mine. It's all mine. Well, and Jude's. And maybe Dido's. Oh, God. People think I'm crazy when I talk about New Zealand and that, but honestly, and the people, lovely. The people are lovely. That's one of the best things about living here. The people are lovely. I enjoyed my time in America, but I love New Zealand. Yeah, flying down south on a calm day with the mountain trains. Yeah. Stevie and Louise landed safely. Awesome. Anne-Marie is house sitting and she's not feeling very well. Have I waxed lyrical enough about New Zealand now? Are you all fed up now? And of course, we have the All Blacks. What's not to love? Oh yeah, and the Crusaders in Christchurch. And the Silver Ferns and the Southern Sting and oh wow, it's awesome. Yeah, North and South Island, totally different. Yeah, because the North Island, the South Island has 4 seasons, and the North Island doesn't. It's temperate, so so it's a lot warmer than the South Island in winter. So yeah, it's quite different. It's wetter unless you're on the west coast in the South Island. The North Island is wetter. Because it has 2 seasons, wet and dry. That's why we came down south to get the 4 seasons. Everything I had actually went mouldy up in the North Island. All our clothes and that we bought with us, and that because we weren't used to it, that humidity and everything, all our clothes went mouldy, and my beautiful leather shoes, mouldy. So we came south. We came south. I don't think I'll colour this one in. I think I'm just going to stick it in. I'm going to cut it out and stick it in because I think it's quite pretty, so I'm going to pop that one in to start with. Live volcanoes, yep. Well, we haven't had the earthquakes down here in Christchurch and that in the South Island. I've got new neighbours, by the way. I haven't met them yet. I think, not quite sure whether they finished moving in yet or not. I haven't seen them shift any furniture, but they could have done it while I was at work. But yeah, so my old neighbours have moved out and actually stayed on the same estate. I think a lot of people do that because it's so nice here. 24 days, I know, it's shocking, isn't it? Yeah, I can't get over it still. It's like, It's gone so quickly. Last time I looked, it was 2018, and now it's almost 2020. I'm shocked. No, well, it's not going to be really Christmas for me. My daughter's refused to take any Christmas presents back with her, so I'll probably just send some Christmas cards with some money in with her to go back into Australia for the grandkids, because postage is like shocking. And then Christmas Eve I'll put my little tree up, because I don't put my tree up until Christmas Eve, unless if the grandkids were here they'd force me to put it up. But because they're not, it won't go up till Christmas Eve. And then it's only a little tiny weeny one anyway. Put it on the table, and then that will be that. That will be my Christmas decoration. A little bit grinchy, I know, but hey. I have to find something super duper to buy the hubby, which I have no idea what I'm going to buy him. Apparently I have to buy the cat something, I've been told by Anne-Marie. Because, you know, he had 12 teeth taken out, and that cost me $1,000. Actually, in the end, it cost me $1,200. I was quoted up to 1,500, but in the end, she bought it in at 1,200. So I said, thanks. 28. Oh my God, 28. Obviously, you'll be getting some help. It'll just be me and hubby. 28. I hope hubby will be here in time anyway. It's supposed to be arriving Christmas Day, but I am working. So it's one of the joys of the work I do is that, you know, you don't get a day off like that. You still have to be got out of bed and showered and that. So yeah. I was going to say, you know, I don't really have the joy of Christmas anymore. So this is to try and get me back in the spirit of things. I'm used to quiet Christmases now anyway. Cooking for 6. Oh dear. A vegan dish as well. Awesome. Yeah, we'll probably have roast chicken and salad. It'll be too hot. Stuffed butternut eggplant. Mmm. Sounds great. Sounds fantastic. Yeah, my in-laws, my mother-in-law and one two of my sister-in-laws are, well, two are vegetarian and one's vegan. So they have usually have they usually have nut cutlets or something, or a nut roast. Nut roast, I think it is. if I can get bored at some point, I could always colour this in if I wanted to. I don't think I'm going to. Twerking turkey, beef, twerking turkey, beef and lamb roasted and all the roast veggies, gravy, pav. Yeah, pav. Fresh fruit ice cream for dessert. Twerking turkey, I love that. It's not every day you have a twerking turkey. Yeah, we usually have chicken because turkey's quite dry, I think. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Turkey. Love it. Yeah, so I'm not sure there'll be any recipes in this one. I mean, there was a time when I used to bake my own Christmas puddings and my own Christmas cakes and all that stuff. And then I got celiac disease, and I was diagnosed with celiac disease. And then it was like when I was first diagnosed, um, you just couldn't make it because it just all fell to pieces on you. It was terrible, and then I just got out of the habit of baking. So and also now I don't really try and eat too much biscuits or cake or things like that. I do occasionally, but not too often. Apart from anything else, it's too expensive, to be honest with you. It's like, oh. I'll put my cat here. Put my little cat in here. Oh. Yeah, there's my kitty cat. You see, Dida's kitty cat is better looking than mine. Yeah, I know. My memory will just be this morning to start with. Just going to write about, the sprocket I bought, and which will explain why the picture is there. And then about all the lovely people that come to say hi on my live stream. Because of course today's not over, but that will go on to day 2 as well, 2nd of I think. As I say, I don't know how many pages I'm going to use for a day. It will just depend on how much I have to write about, I suppose. I think I might make that into a little pocket there, or I haven't quite decided yet. I might just glue it onto there. Thanks, Jude. Can pop the little cat on there too. Top or bottom? Top or bottom? Top or bottom? Yeah. This would be good for sticking things on, you know, if I go to any events or anything, or, you know, if I have a pamphlet or anything like that, or even if I wanted to put some photos on there or something. I don't know. I don't really know. It will be how it will develop. Top. Everybody's saying top. Yeah, so I have no idea how this is going to develop. And but this cute little printer is awesome. My ugly mud, pussycat. No pussycat. You puss. Maui. Some cat's name, Maui. And the rest of it, I think, will be journaling. I want to get a little stamp like you've got, Anne-Marie, you know, the little date stamp thing, which I think I'll probably buy tomorrow here from the office stationery place. And I'll do the journaling, of course, probably off stream. I may put down people's names who came on the stream as well, so that'll be nice. And whoever came in to say hi. So yeah, I may doodle some more on it, I may not. I've been on here for an hour and a half now. I think that's enough, isn't it? You know, you would get too bored with me if I stay on too long. And so yeah, and hopefully Anne-Marie will get better soon and she'll be with me next week. But I may actually, I don't know, I might pop in daily and do a page daily. I haven't decided. It might be nice because it might force me then to do some writing, even if I'm too tired. It'll either be early in the morning or later at night after I've finished work. Probably after I finish work, because then that will give me something to write about, won't it? But let's see. Yeah, hopefully Anne-Marie will be joining me next week if she's feeling any better. And hopefully Eileen will be streaming with me on International Crafters YouTube channel and Facebook page next week as well. We'll see. She might be too busy. Yeah. Thank you, Jude. Thank you. And thank you everybody for popping in and saying hi, and for everybody who also stayed and chatted. That was lovely. And we'll go back to the other page, my December daily. And we'll see you all again soon. Well, I will anyway. I don't know. Daily? Who knows? I'll see how I feel tomorrow. see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.